But damn, Logic's back with another one. Today, y'all gonna see something you've never seen before and probably never will. But I am going to agree with Tim Pool.
You know what I'm saying? Drop a like, leave a comment, let me know you're in here. We finna have fun tonight.
Yes, Myron Gaines has managed to give me the accolade of agreeing with Tim Pool's dumbass. So everybody knows that Myron has been demonetized on X because Elon is a big baby bitch, and he just randomly demonetized people that disagree with him over whether it be H-1B, visas, or the fact that he doesn't really play video games, you name it. But Myron feels entitled to be paid even though he breaks terms of service and just cannot make a good sound argument, but just says, "my free speech," as if that validates any of his terrible arguments. Before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub, if not one, then all three. Now, let's get to the video.
Like I don't, you know, we get our verification taken on Twitter for exposing this, and it's like Vivek and Elon simply don't know.
Yeah, but you know that story is not entirely accurate.
Which one?
The verification removal thing. So I would say,
Or it was like 10 of us that got it taken away for questioning the H-1B stuff.
So the first thing is it's hard to know exactly if it was H-1B. Well, the one thing I can say is that when it was OG Conservative,
yes,
got their gold checkmark removed,
yep,
it removed everyone underneath them.
Yes. Do
you know why they got their thing removed?
Well, I know
they were posting photos of Indian people calling them slurs and like, so I'm not saying it was okay to remove their badges, but the issue was Elon citing hate. Like Elon didn't personally do this, but it was likely X saying hate speech.
Yeah.
Elon then went on later to say, actually I don't know if it was Elon, but someone from X was pointing out that a lot of the accounts that did get suspended that were smaller bot accounts were sharing images of children that were inappropriate.
Yeah, well they got their badge back, but what I find interesting is like everyone that was critical of the H-1B visa pretty much lost their verification. Like everybody, pretch much.
So they
and that was bogus.
No.
Like Elon been wilding on that. He shouldn't have done that. Like he was literally just like with Asman taking away his check mark because of the Path of Exile stuff. Like dude need to get checked for just arbitrarily taking people's stuff away from them. That's not cool. But Myron's acting like he's supposed to get paid, and it don't work like that.
I still don't have mine back. I mean,
like Laura
got hers back, but everybody else pretty much, and they're also.
And you weren't part of any organizations. You had personally bought.
Yeah, so I had my own organization. They took it from my organization, and then I got it again. The organization, they took it again.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting though is I also noticed that a lot of the groups that got their verifications removed have an overlap with constantly talking about Jews.
Yes. Being critical of Israel or H-1B visas, you're done.
I love how he tries to make it look all being critical of Israel, H-1B visas, you're done. No, nigga, you're an anti-Semite. It's not about being critical of Israel. You can be critical of Israel. You just hate Jews and you hate people. That's what happened.
I'm surprised you didn't.
But hold on, not Israel. Dave Smith didn't get his verification removed. And Dave Smith was
Tim finally has an example of something.
It was specifically the Jews.
That's one thing that happens. Like we were talking about this the other night.
It's a hate speech violation. That's what got it removed.
If you like, people talk about like the freedom of speech and stuff on X, and they're critical of Elon and Elon banning people. I'm not for it. I don't endorse it. But the fact of the matter is, if you are delicate with the way that you talk about these issues, they're not going to ban you.
Well, then that's not freedom of speech, and that's directly why.
And then that's fine. That's fine. But no, listen, hold on.
There's debate there.
The important part. The important part is that you are able. The important part of freedom of speech is the ability to exchange ideas, not the ability to fling shit, right?
Yes, it is. That's protected under free speech. Literally, that's what you're trying to protect. Is people saying shit you don't want to hear. That's what free speech is about. Because if everybody wants to hear it, what are you protecting?
You're saying, oh, I don't have the freedom of speech unless I can insult whoever I want, however I want. You're going to. Well, I mean, you can disagree, but
these are two different arguments, sir. It's about. Freedom of speech is to protect the bullshit you don't want to hear, but nobody's obligated to pay you. And this fake ass Undertaker is stupid. Like every time he says something is dumb as hell. And I think this is why people like Tim Pool, is because he surrounds himself with people that are dumber than him. So it makes him look like the intelligent person in the room. And that's how he amassed this base, because every time this guy says something that's never well thought out, is not insightful, and is rarely ever correct.
The point is, it's the way that these platforms are going to look at it.
Yeah,
okay, so
platform, like,
okay. The issue here is this. Yeah. Okay, first of all, free speech is the right to insult and be offensive. In fact, it is the only speech that needs to be protected.
Yes.
The issue, however,
no.
What do you mean? No,
the only
literally
the only no. Listen, no. The important thing about freedom of speech is saying controversial ideas. You can approach saying controversial ideas in a delicate way. It's not important to be able to.
That's to get paid. Tim is talking about what free speech protects. not who allows you to fling shit on their platform. That's two different conversations, which Myron can't seem to get across his thick ass skull either.
Say kike or Jew and insult people like that. That's not
free speech.
That's free speech.
Yes,
I might not like it, but I would defend your right to say it.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that it's not free speech, but you're talking about the way platforms are going to approach it. The important thing about
this guy is stupid. He's arguing the same thing Tim and I are arguing, but he's not framing it correctly. He's like trying to appeal to Myron, but still not making sense with the word choice he's using.
Having the freedom of speech is the ability to exchange ideas. Sure. It's not important to if you're like,
well,
I
there's a lot to break down.
People the way that I want. It's not right. It doesn't matter.
Hold on. I got to address this. First of all, I will stress it again. The idea that someone would determine your speech to be offensive and then ban you for it, quite literally, is anti-free speech, regardless of how you express yourself. More importantly, Elon Musk isn't violating the free speech of individuals by taking away premium. Elon made the point. He said,
I disagree, but
some people think freedom of speech means I have to pay them for it. It does not.
Okay,
and
can I
period.
push back on that? Yeah, so my thing is this, right? If you're going to say freedom of speech, that also means freedom of reach, and that also means monetization.
What is this stupid quote? Like he says this as if it's like embedded in the First Amendment or it came out of Elon's mouth. No, freedom of speech does not mean freedom of reach. Freedom of reach, that's not in the First Amendment. It's not in the TOS for X, and Elon didn't say it. Why are you just throwing this quote around because it sounds cute and making it seem like freedom of speech is freedom of reach? Like, nigga, get it on a shirt. But that's not how this works in real life.
To a degree. Now, let me explain why.
No way.
Okay, so here's the thing.
No way. Like,
if I'm in a jail cell and I say, oh, I have freedom of speech, and I'm talking to a wall, that technically I have the freedom of speech, but I don't have the freedom of reach, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, yes, it doesn't matter, but nobody's keeping you from saying the speech. The government's not keeping you from saying the shit. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, so you sound entitled, which is the problem.
Right? Freedom of speech only matters if you have the freedom of reach. You mentioned the
No, it
marketplace
does
of ideas.
not. Why are you saying that? Freedom of speech only matters if you got the freedom of reach. Says who, nigga? Why? Why do you feel like everybody should boost you because you want to be hateful and then you want everybody to know it? Like, come on, bro.
Marketplace of ideas. I must reach the marketplace of ideas so that my ideas can even be heard.
Nobody's stopping you from talking. You're just not getting paid or boosted. That's not part of freedom of speech.
No one has an obligation to advertise you.
Well,
Like,
here's the
I
thing.
never thought the day would come where I would agree with fucking Tim Pool, bro. Oh my gosh.
When we're talking about premium, you pay for that. And then also, he took away the subscribers, which is the creator dealing directly with their subscribers.
I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah,
So,
with taking away the subscribers too?
Yep. That's what
Okay, so let me
I have said
well,
since...
let me just finish my stance, right? So my thing is this. If you're going to go ahead and say this is a free speech app, right? And then you're going to turn back and say, oh, well, that doesn't mean freedom of reach or monetization, blah, blah, blah. That is censorship, because if you take away someone's ability to earn, someone's ability to reach,
it's not censorship. The government isn't doing anything. It's not censorship.
you are directly censoring them and their ability to reach the marketplace. And the other thing too, also,
communist.
What do you mean communist?
That's communism. I have a right to your services. Nah, nice try.
But he's marketing as a free speech app.
So
that's
what?
the issue.
He just doesn't address it. That was such a good comeback. It's communism. I have a right to your services. That's communism. But he's marketing as a free speech app. Like, he's just living in these quotes, and that's not. Can you engage with the substance of the argument, Myron? Because that is a form of communism. I'm entitled. You supposed to pay me to say what I want. He said about free speech. Myron, advocate for everybody to get paid on X then. You're not saying everybody should get paid on X. You're talking about yourself. You're talking about what you want to say and how it affected you and how Elon has a gripe against you, when if you really care, Elon has a gripe with people that disagree with him. You should be advocating that he shouldn't do that to anybody else because he's selectively getting people out there. And if you're being consistent, you would say everybody on X should get paid. All those people don't have the freedom of reach that you seem to be clinging on to. All those people not getting paid don't have the freedom of reach. Why aren't you advocating for all of X, everybody on X to get paid? Because you don't believe your argument.
If you're going to market it as a free speech app,
when
and he uses the First Amendment to validify his stance with it being free speech.
And again, if he's using the First Amendment, you definitely don't have a leg to stand on, because it doesn't say freedom of reach, nor does it say you have to get paid.
Hate speech is protected under the First Amendment under a million different case laws.
So
my thing is, if you're going to
criticize Elon,
if you're going to use the First Amendment as the basis and say that it is the bedrock of a democracy, then you need to stand by that. And that means that you are not going to sit there and, oh, well, I don't believe in censorship, but then you demonetize people. I would argue demonetizing someone is one of the best ways to censor, because now that creates a chilling effect with everyone else, where I can't say what he's saying. I can't even say what I want
But that's more of an argument if he kicked you off, which he didn't. He's just not paying you
to say. So I'm going to chill out and not.
If anything, it incentivizes people to say what they want to say because they're not getting paid to say it. So that way they don't have to worry about what they say. The argument could go both ways, sir. But you not getting paid because you violated TOS, which I will hope that's why Elon did it versus selectively taking people's check marks away from them, which is the real critique and not Myron getting paid to say what he wants.
You have no right to someone else's services. When the first adpocalypse happened on YouTube and they started
That's
demonetizing,
YouTube. They're not a free speech app.
and they started censoring people, I said, and I maintain this position, so long as you are allowed to post the content, people can subscribe to it and they will receive your content. That's the extent of free speech on the platform. The idea that X should allow you to be boosted, to reach new people, or receive money from it. Those are services they provide you. They have no obligation to, and that's outside of free speech.
Well, you're
arguing
put that rule in recently. They literally didn't have that in the
shut up.
They literally just put that in a couple of days ago.
Elon has no obligation to have you use a payment processing service.
Tim, you made the point that not
he marketed it as a free speech app.
You've
Myron,
used the First Amendment as a basis. As a basis.
Should pornographers have freedom of reach on Twitter?
That's the thing. You've made the point that total free speech.
Wait. So it's not free speech then? Your free speech is limited to pornographers, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
No. Well,
you made the
pornography
point
is a whole other.
Pornography is a whole other. No, nigga, no, it's not. That was a good argument. It's not different. That's why it's not illegal. Censorship is about making it illegal to do and say certain things. Freedom of expression is under freedom of speech. That's why adult film acting is legal. It's just on certain platforms and not on other platforms because those platforms don't have to host it. You can't just say, oh, no, that can't be on X because it's different. No, it's not. X doesn't have to host whatever they don't want to host, which technically they do actually host it. I don't know if those people are paid, but they let it be on the platform. So for you to say, no, it don't count, you're a hypocrite. You don't believe what you're saying.
They're talking over.
That's not. The pornography is not the same at all. About
yes,
when we're
it
talking
is.
about
It
discourse.
literally is the same. It literally is the same.
Sure.
So
having
it's freedom of speech except for pornographers. So you're not a free speech.
Pornography should not exist at all. It should be banned.
I mean, I don't
See, we're not asking what you think, Myron. It's not about, it shouldn't exist. It should be banned. First of all, you really don't believe freedom of speech since you're saying that adult acting shouldn't exist. But nobody's asking your opinion right now, Myron. They're trying to see your consistency on this freedom of speech, freedom of reach crap that you're harping on because it ain't about freedom of reach. You're mad that you're not getting paid because you're not advocating that everybody on X get paid. You're not advocating that adult actors get paid because that's their freedom of speech that isn't getting boosted too.
don't disagree with you, but we're picking and choosing what your freedom of speech is.
Exactly.
No, pornography is not speech.
We have already had this discussion.
Yes, it is. It's a form of expression which falls under freedom of speech.
There is no universal principle.
Yeah.
There is no free speech absolutism. It doesn't exist.
Right.
But here's the thing.
Yeah, so there shouldn't be freedom of reach
pretending.
on Twitter for everybody.
Pornography is not the same.
He can't acknowledge that because it illuminates his hypocrisy. That's why he can't say no. But he knows that's how he feels. Freedom of speech for everybody except for that.
Same whatsoever. Like,
Okay, so what else should there not be freedom of reach on for Twitter? So it shouldn't be for
all
pornographers.
speech should be allowed outside of obviously like non-inciting violence.
Why not inciting violence? That's their freedom of speech. Why can't see he's full of it. He doesn't really believe what he's saying. Oh, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. Why accept inciting violence? You can say it and you don't know the end result of that. Why are you stopping it at filing? You don't believe this crap that you're saying. And again, you're not obligated to get paid or boosted.
And not pornography.
Speech. Guys. Here's the thing. Elon Musk framed Twitter saying, "I believe in the First Amendment and it's the bedrock of a democracy."
And he didn't kick you off.
If you're going to say that, stand by it. That means freedom of speech, hate speech, etc. It's all protected, and this has been shown a million times in different case law. That's my thing. So for him to say, "Well, I'm going to take premium away because you don't agree with me on H1B, etc."
Yeah, that's the critique, Myron. Hold on, let's stay right there. I'm taking away your badge because you don't agree with me on H1B. That's the problem. The problem is not you getting it taken, period. It's about getting it taken for the reason it got took. Because you sound like you had this argument no matter what the cause is. You're just mad that you one of the people that got the short end of the stick, which is valid, but don't make it about this free speech crap. Make the argument that Elon should not selectively enforce the TOS. That's the problem. The problem ain't that you broke the TOS and then he chose to do it to you and not everybody else. I mean, I might have confused that, but y'all know what my argument is at this point. Defend the actual critique is that he shouldn't selectively enforce it, not just because you got affected by it.
And other people do the same shit.
Okay, bro. When you know that misgendering is
really
banned on X.
What?
Misgendering is not allowed on X.
What do you mean by misgendering? Like calling someone like a T word?
No, misgendering. Calling someone somebody who says that their pronoun is she, you can't say he. Elon did this. I complained about it. It's a big story. X has maintained their hate speech policies the entire time. It never got rid of them. we can criticize
They selectively enforce it.
They always have.
They selectively enforce it.
So
Yes,
the
and why aren't you
inversion now
critiquing
is
that?
it was the
If
government
it's the
colluding
selective
with the
enforcement,
former heads of
critique it.
Twitter to selectively enforce it in one way. Elon alleviated a bunch of that tensions, but still has some people censored, and some people still lose access to some services.
Yeah, but we're missing.
So my point is literally when you say he marketed a certain way, I'll say, bro, like since he took it over, he refused to reinstate Alex Jones for like a year after he took it over, saying, nope, don't care. He said something I don't like.
Yep.
The whole problematic never changed.
Yeah, but see,
So by all means, criticize it and say we should change it.
Because now if you disagree with him or you go against, I mean, he took a blue check from Osmongold for saying he got boosted on a video game. That's problematic. This guy's drunk with power.
Yes. You're not critiquing the right thing though. That's what the problem is being drunk with power. The problem is the selective punishing. That's the issue. It's not Myron, because you broke the TOS. You always saying hateful stuff. So you can't just say, oh, he did it to me. Now I gotta say something. Like I'm not. Now, to be fair, Myron does he tries sometimes to be consistent with what he says. Like he tried to protect the fact that when Destiny got his stuff, because actually it happened to Destiny too. They was just like, hey, he shouldn't get paid, and then they took Destiny's badge from him or whatever. But he didn't make an uproar about it. But Myron did defend it. I don't know if he defended Asman. He probably did, knowing how he get down. But it's the problem is now you're pretending like the critique is you're feigning the critique of the mishandling of power into what you really care about is I got my shit took, because you're saying freedom of reach shit and everybody on X isn't paid to talk.
Like, let's just call a spade a spade. We disagree with him on H-1B visa. Yeah, he exposed the DMs and he took his blue check away. So like this is problematic because he comes in saying, I believe in free speech. The Don Lemon interview goes viral everywhere. I believe it's a better democracy. Frames it against the First Amendment. Well, stand on that, dude. Because you can't sit there and say, I'm going to demonetize people, take their subscribers, and take their freedom away.
Why does that mean free speech grants you access to someone's labor?
What do you mean? Free speech grants, what do you mean by someone's labor?
So X builds a service.
Yes.
On top of that service are other things you can have.
Yep.
Okay. Why should you get access to the labor of the company?
Because he marketed it that saying it's a free speech app.
So you're saying
I'm holding
This is so stupid. That's all, he's not engaging with this conversation with substance. He just keeps using this quote. He marketed it as a free speech app. Bro, you're not even kicked off. You cannot make it about being paid. You're not even kicked. You have a better argument if he kicked you off, which technically he still could, because if you broke the TOS enough to the point of getting kicked off the platform. So don't just sit here and act like he marketed it as a free speech app. Bro, you broke TOS.
His word.
So a business in this country can never sever a relationship with a client.
Right.
Well, my thing is, if you're going to market it as a free speech app and then you were going to censor people for the free speech that you promote, that's a problem.
But they're not silencing your free speech. They're taking away a payment processing service.
And they're also taking away your reach, because the verification absolutely affects your ability to...
You see how he fell back to it? There's no freedom of reach. You made this up to bolster your argument, but it's nowhere in anybody's mind that people thought freedom of speech means you have to bolster my speech. Nobody in real life thinks that. And also nobody in real life thinks that freedom of speech has anything to do with what you can say on a platform.
Your ability to speak is not advertising for you. Why do you think a network should be forced to do something for you?
Exactly.
You want free speech? Go stand on a street corner in downtown Chicago. You can say whatever you want.
Sure.
Why should anyone be forced to amplify your message for your speech?
Well, it's not about being forced. It's about you pay for the service, and then he says it's free speech, and it's not free speech. He lied. So that's why he's getting a lot of issues with this.
We're going to try this again.
Look, if you're going to market it as a free speech app, Tim, you have to stand on it.
No, bro, you're misunderstanding.
The Elon's definitely full of shit, but if you break TOS, you can get demonetized, sir. Like, come on.
You are not banned, right?
No.
So he marketed a platform for free speech, and you are still allowed to speak.
Yes.
He offered you a premium service that allows you to make money on the platform.
Which directly affects your reach, which affects your ability, your free speech. It does affect your speech because it affects your reach.
No.
Your freedom of speech is contingent upon reach, Tim. That's where me and you disagree.
No, absolutely not. No one has to advertise you and promote you to other people for you to have free speech.
Freedom of reach means
you are only saying that because you are being negatively impacted by a private action of a private company.
Because Myron's not fighting for this for everybody that's not paid on X. That's why this argument is stupid. And I don't know why Tim Pool can't make that argument, because it's the easiest argument to make in this conversation. Why hasn't he said, why don't you fight for everybody to get paid then if you feel that your freedom of reach is getting impeded upon? Because that's everybody that's not getting paid on X.
Advertising freedom of speech.
They allow you to keep speaking. They've not censored your speech?
They have.
No, they have not.
Yes, they have.
What words have
they have. No, they haven't. You can still say what you want on there. You're just not getting paid for it.
I get posts taken all the time, visibility limited, because of for hate speech.
So in the confines of Elon's moral code, what is problematic? What is misaligned with the rules that have always been in place?
That's problematic because he interprets what's hate speech now.
Okay, you're conflating two different things. If we're talking
Yes,
about
you're
Elon taking over a
conflating-
company,
Yes, because see what I'm saying? Now he's trying to engage with the real critique. The critique is the inconsistency of how he's applying the rules, but you're talking about your freedom of reach. That's not what this is about.
marketing a service with hate speech rules that we all disagree with, you knew what you were buying when you bought it.
And that's what
Here's
you
the
need
thing.
to
Again,
critique. You
it's
don't like
selective
the
enforcement.
TOS.
And it's always and Twitter was and X is.
And it's supposed to be free speech, and that's where the issue lies. Where look, if you're going to market this as a free speech app, that means hate speech as well. And then again, like I said before, freedom of speech only matters if you have freedom of reach.
Are you aware that Elon has never unbanned some accounts?
Yes.
So you knew when you bought the service, Elon was selectively enforcing the censorship policies.
It depends. In what regard do you mean? Like,
I don't think
You,
Myron knows.
you say
that.
Elon
I
advertised
don't
the
even know how
service.
true it is.
That was for free speech, but you knew he was selectively enforcing the
Because I
rules.
know at first when he got X, he didn't unban some accounts, but he unbanned them over time, so I don't know.
here's the thing: those people were banned before he even came into power,
And he never unbanned them, and he outright said explicitly, "I will not unban some of these people."
and he unbanned them. So he goes back,
Well,
like
he
unbanned
unbanned
Alex Jones, he
only
unbanned a
one.
couple of people,
There's still
unbanned Nick Fuentes, etc.
Sure.
So
And there's still
like,
a lot of accounts that have never been unbanned.
Okay.
like I don't know who they are, but I mean,
They exist.
like
See, Tim, why you don't have any? They exist. You should have at least one example of somebody that I don't know because I'm not a big X user. I don't know who's. I think the only person I saw is like David Duke, because a lot of the people that were not unbanned at first got unbanned later on. So
I mean, look, my argument is simply this: if you're going to come in and say the free speech app and model it after the First Amendment, like he did, stand on it. That's all I'm saying. And taking away people's premium
and the point of the
penalizing
argument
them for saying hate speech is antithetical to freedom of speech.
So the issue at play right now is
this guy is crazy.
And we can agree to disagree, Tim. It's fine.
This is so
I
selfish.
believe
no, we're not
you are
agreeing to
arguing
disagree.
you are deserving of a service that a private company is selling because you want to be advertised, and you are arguing First Amendment protections, or at least principles, free speech principles, because you want promotion.
Right.
I'm arguing free speech principles that they advertised and said that is our app.
Stop. You're not. This is bullshit. You're mad because he took away how loud your voice is. Bro, you can still say what the fuck you want. Just nobody gonna pay you and boost you, bro. Like, stop. This is so it's about you. You're not arguing. If this is really how you felt, everybody should be getting boosted on X, bro.
That's free speech never said you get advertising. End of story.
No.
You don't mean no? Like, no. Yes, nigga. Free speech is not about advertising you. That's literally what you're asking for. You said free speech means show everybody what I'm saying on your platform. Me. Fuck everybody else. Let everybody know what I'm saying. I'm not advocating for everybody to get boosted. Like,
don't get
this is where me and you can agree to disagree, and that's fine.
I think that's communism.
But I think by
the idea that
censoring people's
a company
reach,
must give me a service.
that is antithetical. That is antithetical to freedom of speech by limiting someone's reach. It's antithetical because speech has no need if it can't reach people. If I can't reach the marketplace of ideas, what do you like? What's the point?
What is this argument? Myron is just. This is the same stupid stuff he was doing with trying to defend Nick Fuentes macing that woman at his house, bro. Yes, she shouldn't have been in his house, but why on earth are you pretending that this is like some type of, like, it's okay for you to mace and kick people that ring your doorbell? Bro, don't answer the door if you're worried about somebody coming in. If she broke in your house, all bets are off. At that point, great, do whatever you gotta do. You cannot mace people at your door because you think something's going to happen to you. You do not want to live in that world either, Myron. So he advocates for these things that he knows in practice make absolutely no sense. And he'll never, and I don't know why, and like he just sits there and looks like this, apparently, when he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He knows that these arguments are stupid.
So when you go out in the middle of the street in Chicago and you start yelling, what reach do you have?
Well, the people there can hear me, right, to a degree. But when
that's bullshit. You don't have reach. Like, you see, like, he can't. This is not. He's not honest. I don't know if he's not being honest or he just knows that he just can't say anything else. Like, he's got to save face. Like, well, they can hear me. Well, this is the same. This is the same. It was a good analogy. You're in Chicago in the middle of the street. You just talking. Who's stopping you? He said, how are you getting reach? He said, well, they can hear me. No, because everybody can still hear you on X. Is nobody boosting you? What's the difference? Like, basically, he's saying, y'all got to give me a megaphone. Somebody got to supply me with a megaphone while I'm out here. Or give me all the stereos in this all-state arena or whatever.
What I'm saying is that, again, if you're going to market it as a free speech app,
should you be legally allowed to use an amplifier?
Exactly.
Should you be legally what?
Should you be legally allowed to use an amplifier for your speech?
You like?
Well, I think if that platform is going to advertise and say,
No, you can't believe that because you're not advocating for everybody to get that amplifier. Only you. This is about you.
even free speech and
He's
use the
full of
First Amendment
shit.
that needs to stand by it. That's my
in
thing.
public, should you?
I'm simply just holding Elon to his word. That's all I'm doing.
But I
This is- and it's been
know, I
problematic.
think you're
No,
personally
you're
aggrieved and you want
full
something
of
from a
shit.
private company.
I mean, it's not me even having a personal issue with it. Like, I don't care because like Twitter isn't my main thing. But what I'm saying is that
You
it's
a
extremely
damn
hypocritical
lie.
to say this is a free speech app modeled after the First Amendment and then go back on that and then take people's checks away for disagreeing with you on H-1B visas.
We don't
That's what
disagree.
he did.
We don't disagree on selective enforcement.
Right.
Where we disagree is that you think he should be promoting you.
Right.
No.
Period.
I think he should be allowing everyone to have a fair seat at the table and have their voice heard.
But that's not. You're not advocating for that. Look at he's sitting there like he just cooked. Like, bro.
Everybody.
How have you lost reach?
When you lose verification, your ability to be seen drops off precipitously.
What about everybody else? What about everybody else?
This is a fact.
there's
He's even
there's a paid
He's even
service.
said this with premium.
There's a paid service, so you believe that your words should be presented in a feed for other people algorithmically to discover.
No, I think the best ideas should be able to be discovered and let the people decide, but it's not even reaching is my point.
So can people still follow you?
But
What
if you're
did
shadow
this
banned,
nigga
be
just
discovered. And
For other people algorithmically to discover.
no, I think the best ideas should be able to be discovered and let the
Who the fuck you think is dictating the best ideas, sir? Who are you saying that you have the best idea? I think the best idea, bro. Who says your ideas are the best? Who makes that call? And who are you to say other people's? Okay, Elon.
the people decide, but it's not even reaching is my
Let
point.
the people
So can people-
decide. Let the people. Well, if your speech is good, the people will decide on it, and they'll boost your speech.
They'll follow you.
But if you're shadow banned or you're
They can go to your account. They can see what you're posting, right?
yeah, but you're shadow banned. You can't discover it.
You're
It doesn't
not
come up on a
shadow
feed.
banned. Not having premium doesn't shadow ban you.
It absolutely
It
limits your ability.
deprioritizes
Yeah, it deprioritizes you, which is shadow banning, and it hurts
No, deprioritizing is not shadow banning, sir.
your ability to be seen, which is
Shadow banning is when you are removed from the space entirely without your knowledge.
yeah. Well, here's
That's why
the
it's
thing.
ban.
Yeah. But here's again. It's harder for people to find you. Your tweets don't post up on the news feed as usual for you. So that is all censorship. That is all censorship, Tim. I mean, you
not
might disagree
believe
with
he's
me,
saying
but that is
that.
all
Absolutely.
censorship.
It's
and I'm against all
mind-blowing that
censorship.
there's an argument.
saying
I mean, well, I'll throw it to you guys because we can take it away from us.
Sure.
Do you guys believe that
We can agree to disagree, Tim. It's fine. But like, yeah.
No,
Like
you
the
ain't
guy.
agreeing to disagree on objectively being wrong. No.
Adam, should platforms be required to offer you some degree of promotion in your content?
I think if you pay for it, I think you enter a contract, right? I'm paying for services. You should provide services. At any point, I can end that contract. It's Elon's house, right? If I invited you to my house and come hang out, say what you want, and you're being rude to my guests or whatever, I'm gonna ask you to leave. At the end of the day, it's my house. You have free speech. You can say what you want, but there are gonna be consequences sometimes for saying the things you say. So is it complete free speech? I don't think so. I think you can be deplatformed. I think you can be demonetized. These things happen, but it's still more free than anywhere else, and it is his house.
What is Myron gonna say?
So you're
Rumble's more free by far.
sure.
Rumble,
No
absolutely.
engagement.
beats
This
Twitter
nigga's so
X.
full of shit. Like the man made a salient point. If I kick you, get in my house, I'll kick you out if you gonna act up. I'm allowing you to come in my house. We could kick it. You could relax. You could do what you want. Put your feet up. You know what I'm saying? If you want to. But the moment you start disrespecting everybody in my house, I have no obligation to keep you in it, sir. What?
To every degree when it comes to freedom of speech.
Rumble's pretty crazy. They're just like, do your
Fuck
thing.
are we talking about
like Rumble,
for?
there's no
Rumble's
censorship at all.
better. Ain't nobody asked you. First of all, Rumble and X ain't even on the same type of platform.
Say whatever.
4chan
And
video.
Rumble, that's why, and that's my issue.
No,
is
4chan has rules.
like me and
Of
Chris.
course, Myron loves the apps that let him be hateful. Like, ain't that funny? Like, Rumble's the best, man. Rumble, yeah, Rumble. Like, nigga, they just don't. They let you do whatever you want, and that's pathetic.
Pavlovsky, we disagree on so many different things politically, but like
I don't really give a fuck. Myron is such a baby. He's so dishonest. He's so selfish. Like, it is no justification. Just like he tried to, like I said, the Nick Fuentes situation. I don't care how much you want to agree with Nick Fuentes and stick up for your friends and shit. He wasn't supposed to legally do that. Even if you like it, like I understood it, but it's still illegal. Two different things. So just go cry in the car, bro. Like nobody is here to hear that shit. But if you are here and you made it to this point in the video, make sure you join the Discord so you can chat it up with me, set up a debate, conversation on stream, talk with my community or whatever. We still growing and it's small, so you joining is only gonna add on to it and keep it alive. But if you made it to this point, you also need to leave a like, comment, sub, if not one, then all three, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace.